What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with, wait man, I gotta get the glove on. It's cold out this belly. With yet another car video. Women need to be realistic about getting a money man. Women need to be realistic, and y'all know me. I don't usually go in on women, but I'm constantly telling the fellas to be realistic. You know me, I'm always saying, a lot of y'all think y'all might get that like supermodel of the world. I say, man, you better stay in your lane. Unless you want to work to get into that lane. Now, you can work to get into that lane. But if you ain't there now, give up on that. Stay in your lane until you can get what you can get. Right? But I can't let the women off the hook. Because women be out here with that fantasy like, yeah, they're going to get a guy. Used to be just 6 figures. Used to be just 6 figures. Now it's like $500,000 and shit. $500,000. You get some women who just give a statement made famous by the late Kevin Samuels, may rest in peace, average at best. But you got these women talking about they gonna get them, this rich man, they want that 6-figure guy and stuff. Look, that's a fantasy. That's up there. You know what? Part of that comes from those like fantasies from Disney and stuff. The woman getting a prince. That's part of the problem, and that's been a problem. Getting that prince charming and everything. All it has in this modern age. And I got a little bit of a cold. This weather and stuff, so if my voice a little hoarse. No, it don't have nothing to do with the stroke. I can still get other shit. So anyway, right? You got these women thinking, oh, I can get a 6 figures no matter what they look like. No matter what they look like. Look, let me just be raw with it. Because I talked about money men in my book, Nice Guys and Players, called them masked men. And their mask is basically their money and their material goods. Now, even though I publicly stated, yeah, a man can get sex without spending money, that's only a small percentage of men. Some men, their bait is their money. But men got to be realistic about that. You got to have a whole lot of money. If you think you just got a little bit of money thinking that's going to be bait, that ain't going to be work. That ain't going to be worth it. Most you are is a trick to a woman. I'm talking about the type of men that gold diggers will go after and whatnot, right? But check this out, though. Check this out. Realistically, most women ain't going to get that type of man for one simple reason. Money men, true money men, men making money, got those resources, masters of the universe, man, they're the pickiest human beings on the planet. For a woman to have a chance, just a chance with that type of man, she got to be a minimum 8 in his eyes. Let me say that again, a minimum 8. And I'll go even further. Because there was some female content creator talking about how women needed to wear makeup and all of that. Oh, these men, with those real money men, nah, you got to pretty much be rolled out of bed beautiful. Nah, because you get men, once a man worked hard to get to that level, oh, he won a trophy. See, that beautiful woman is a trophy. That's a reward. Whether you like it or not, that's just a reality. Now, women can be on that fantasy like, oh, they're such a great person and all that. At best, if you ain't looking like that 8, at best you're somebody he could just fuck and let nobody know about it. And even then, that's only a few men. Most men who got a lot of money, especially if they got to that point without a woman, oh, she better be supermodel of the world. Now, notice I'm saying most, right? Most. There's always an exception. But usually, I'm going to tell you what, with those exceptions, it's usually a case where Well, two things. One, the woman was there with him when he didn't have money. He just stayed loyal. You get some men like that, you know? And I've told women that. I said, look, the best way to get a man who's making all that money, is be there with him while he's making it. That's the best way. And then other than that, if you ain't all that physically, if you ain't an 8 or something like that, you better be that type. It'd be some power couple thing. And usually in those cases, it's usually a man of power or a certain status, and he wants a certain type of woman for political reasons. Or, you know, he a minister, head of a big church. Well, even then, they want a certain attractiveness in a woman. You got to be bringing something. You got to be a power couple type of thing. And even that's political. And even then, his side piece going to be that trophy. Like in those cases, when you see cases like that, that man invariably has a side piece. Because understand the psychology of a man with money. It take a lot. It ain't something easy. You get some women thinking like, oh, all these men got 6 figures. No. 10% of men even got the 6 figures, like minimum 6 figures. And you got women talking about $500,000. That's even fewer men. Now, unless that man inherited that money, which very few will, he had to work to get that money. And in most cases, I'm saying most cases, he had to do that without a woman. In fact, that's a major issue because, like I said, I talked about it in my book, Nice Guys and Players. A lot of men had to get to that level, they had to work by themselves. They have, like, not even just a fine woman, a woman, period, helping them out. Being supportive. You know? Probably like, oh, well, you don't have that money yet. He'd be like, okay, all right. Or he might not be that fine dude, because let's be real. A lot of guys who make a lot of money, they probably ain't going to, like, make money as a fashion model. So you got that man, you know, he ain't have help coming up. He ain't had that woman with him. He had to make that money by himself. He ain't going to just grab some woman who didn't run to the finish line with him. Because you got some women, they got that fantasy, they can just show up and the man just going to want them. What are you bringing that man? Shoot, Eddie Murphy joked about that, even way back in the day. I remember that concert, he was like, what's that woman bringing? He already got $1 million and she bringing a little bit of money. What'd that mean to him? He already got his money. Oh, shoot. And let that man, I'm saying $500,000, let that man especially be a millionaire. Shoot. I had said earlier the woman had to at least be an 8. She probably got to be a 9 at that point. Seriously, she got... And I'm going to tell you what. Shout out Master Teacher BGS. He called those 100 octanes. That woman got to be fine as hell. She got to be pretty as hell. She got to be one of those women who can go into a magazine. It's like one of those things. And see, you got these women out here, you know, got that fantasy. Yeah, you got to be that. And have the nerve to put down some guy who probably give a shit about them. Who probably want to pay 100%. Will probably work a second job to support them. He just wants some loyalty and stuff, but you got some women, nah, he got to be that he got to be that millionaire. He got to make those high 6 figures. And if you ask them what they bringing to the table, nothing. No. It ain't working like that. First of all, if a man build up that type of money, he got some game to him. He got some life game to him. He gonna look, you got to bring, you better have something. You better, look, pretty much, I'm just be raw with it. One, you going to have to be somebody he can walk out in public with. You got to walk out in public with. And 2, you got to fuck his brains out. If a woman ain't doing all that, she gets none. He ain't messing with her. He laughing at her and stuff. In fact, he ain't even put himself in a position where he gonna meet anything less than what he wants. I mean, you got private clubs out there that cater to men like that. And like I said, if a woman, she ain't like at that, 8 to 10 range or something like that, it gotta be like on a man looking for a woman on a power couple thing. And even then, she gotta have a level of attractiveness. So she might not be an 8, but she need to be an adjustable. She need to be an adjustable 6, like above average, and somebody who can fix up real well. Because one thing, when you get some men like that, and especially if they're making a lot of money, they're in a corporate arena, social thing, you still got, a woman still got to be like very, very attractive, but then she even had to have more. She got to be able to maneuver socially. This is very important. She got to be able to maneuver with some high level people, especially at that level. And that's, when he's going to marry and everything. So it's like, even if the woman ain't an 8 to 10 range, if she's, if she can fix up to a 7 and then she can handle a room, something like that, that's when he look. But see, you got some women out here don't even got those social graces. And, I've talked about class and everything. How different women look for guys of a certain class. One thing, men who got that level of money, they looking for women who got a certain level of class. They looking for women who got a certain level. So they ain't getting some like tackhead. If you some woman and say he's that type, he's looking for a woman to be in like a seriously upper middle class circle. He ain't getting some woman who working class. He ain't gonna do that. Because one of the things at that level, he's also gonna be judged on the quality of woman he got. Even a woman who's beautiful, depending on where the man is, she still gotta have a certain social graces and everything. Oh, it's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. And then, if he ain't, unless he's looking for that power couple thing, what she do for a living, all that don't mean shit. Because remember, he's looking for a trophy. And see, here's the thing. Most women, they are not, look, most women just aren't qualified for that level of man. They just not qualified. The way he's looking at, he's some dumb motherfucker. He's looking at a lot of shit. He's looking at the looks. Yeah? You got to look a certain way. You're looking at your social graces. You got to bring something. You got to bring something. Because you got some women, they be talking, and I'll be listening to them. I'm like, girl, get off their fantasy. Just like I tell guys, hey, you got to be realistic about, like, getting some supermodel of the world. These women need to be realistic about getting that high-level man. And yeah, there's always an argument about the word high value and shit. Well, let's be real. The women themselves are saying money. Okay. Most of them, in fact, they're invisible. They're going to be invisible to, like, the average money man. I mean, I've talked to some guys, and they weren't even at that. They were just in the 6-figure range and stuff. And how picky they were was scary to me. Like, I knew this one dude, he was around a group of women. He said, nah, they all homely. And I knew like 3 or 4 of the women. I knew the group he was with. He's like, nah, they all homely. I was like, damn, man, they ain't that bad. But I also knew this dude had 6 figures. This dude had 6 figures back in the aughts. But shoot, he was making money during the recession. So he was like real picky about it. He was real picky. A woman, and he was unapologetic about it. He was like, nah, I worked hard, did all this shit. I ain't fucking no ugly ass woman. Or some average woman. He was serious about that shit. He was serious. So one of the things many women have to do is just be realistic out here. They gotta be realistic. They gotta recognize their lane. Fuck the fantasy shit, because the money men, they pragmatic about that shit. And I know these women think, well, I'm real nice, I'm all that. You don't give a fuck. You gotta be a trophy. And then have some social graces on top of it, with most of them. minimum trophy. Some don't care about the social graces. Like I said, there might be an exception here and there. But like I said, most of the time, the exception is the woman was there with him when he didn't have anything. And he's just being loyal. Even then, she might want to double back home sometime. Oh, nah, she don't need to double back home. He'll just take a side piece to a motel, or probably, like I've known some to have, they got like their little apartment somewhere for the woman. So, and that's just how it is, you know. And, it's nothing about out of evil. It's just on some pure pragmatic shit. Purely pragmatic. Let me pull up here. Purely pragmatic about the shit. You know? And some of these women, y'all see these videos and stuff with these women talking about it. I just, ain't even entertainment for me. I just said, okay. How that working for you? Just seriously ask, if you run into one, say, how that working for you? Because I've met some women, they weren't all that, say, yeah, these men with long money want me. Where you at? Where you at? Shit. Killing me with some shit sometimes. But anyway, though, that's all I got. I just needed to say that. Like I said, I'm telling the men to be realistic. Women need to be realistic out here, too. And that money man picky as hell. Women gotta have a lot to even think about getting a serious money man. You know? She gotta have a lot to think about it. If she don't look like she can win a beauty contest or place in a beauty contest or even participate, give it up. She don't look like she can get 1 million subs on IG or something. 1 million followers on IG or TikTok or whatever. Or shit, OnlyFans. Give it up. It just is what it is. Be realistic. Like I said, if I'm telling the men be realistic, the women gotta be realistic too. So anyway, that's all I got for today, yo. Yeah, I'll be speaking to better tomorrow. Nah, it's just a regular code, y'all. Regular code. The people be thinking, see, now everybody, even some little shit that's just regular, people gonna be thinking, oh, is that part of the struggle? Nah. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace.